It's Thursday, the 19th of January. It's just coming up to 8 o'clock in the morning for me, and that's 3 o'clock in the morning New York time. This is going to be the morning review of the US 30. I'm not going to be doing any trading today. With it being Thursday, let's just have a quick look at the news before we go and jump into the charts. Okay, so let me refresh this. And we'll set up the filters for this week. Apply settings. So the news, main news yesterday was 8:30 PPI. On the 4 hour, you can see quite nicely we had a drop down, quite an aggressive move, I would say. I'll come to these markups in a second. We're definitely in decline. My target was this kind of area. I didn't expect it to hit it so rapidly this week, but it just goes to show what can happen in a day. On the hour, my markups yesterday was in this area. I was anticipating a pullback, thinking that we were going into phase one, but it looks like this price action here was possibly phase one. So yeah, let's just make a start on reviewing it very quickly. So here's the daily. The daily still hasn't changed in terms of it's stuck in this range right now, dealing range. For me to go bullish, price needs to go above this high, but we're still in decline at the moment, so that's based on this break structure that we got above higher. I'm going to go ahead and put in the opposite of that, because I keep talking about it but I haven't done it. So we've got a low, high and a lower low marked out by there. I'm just going to put that across one, it just looks nicer. And then the opposite of that, this is, let me set that to green. So we have a daily break structure down by there. I'll come back and finish it off later on. So within this region, we put a rectangle just by here. And go to style, set the background blue. The color, I'm going to put a dark blue. I'll do the same thing with dark blue. All this area inside here now, this is internal range liquidity, so it's fair game really, as far as I see. On the 4 hour, on the weekly, this is the busy. If I go to the weekly very quickly, you'll see it. if I just drop back a minute. No, that's done that. There's probably some settings somewhere. Yeah, switch on the weekly. Go back to that. So you can see I've marked out the imbalance on the weekly by there. So we do have again a break of structure around this area here, and that's clearly going to be a sensitive area that we're coming into. So the weekly we're bullish at the moment. The reverse of that will be up here somewhere, so I might go back over that at the weekend and get it all set up properly. But back to the daily. My eyes are in this area right now, with it being the weekly, and this is all internal range at the moment, so we could see a pull back into that area. If I just put a fib very quickly from this low to this high, you can see we're in premium at the moment. So to get down to discount, it's within this region here. So that's in alignment with what I'm thinking. All of this area is internal range liquidity. On the 4 hour, I think most of the move for this week's been done. We do have this area down here. So I'd be inclined to say this is the target for the week, potentially down to these lows. You've got all these equal lows down by here. I take out the liquidity down by that. So I've set up two markups. If we see on the lower time frame a break of structure around here, a candle, maybe a 1 hour break of structure, then I'd be inclined to take that. If we don't get that, then the next area would be all the way up here somewhere. So that's it for the 4 hour. So daily, 4 hour above in decline, 1 hour is the same. So we've passed where the objective was, shot through it. We've broke through the internal range liquidity, so we're into external range. It's all based off the 4 hour now, so the 4 hours playing out. And these markups, I think, stay the same at this. So that completes the midterm analysis. I think we've got two scenarios there. One is that we hit this and we see some form of break of structure there to reverse back down again. So to anticipate on the day, on the 1 hour at least, an area of potential reversal here for a climb up to this level somewhere here, around here. So we have a new area of kind of internal range potentially that's going to be set up. On the 30-minute, so you see here where I marked out the 8:30 news. 8:30 news here, couldn't get above these highs and just plummeted. I'm going to clean up this this chart. There's a lot going on here which I don't like. Yesterday we had on the 15-minute a 15-minute break structure here, and as price come up to this level, this is the internal range liquidity on the 1 hour. Sorry, is that 1 hour? Might be the 30-minute. I'll come back to that in a bit. We've got this area marked out anyway on the 15-minute. You can see how price is having a real hard time getting through it. That was the sign really. So it didn't break. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So I was anticipating a break of structure here, but it didn't happen. So in hindsight, what I should have had was a sign here to say just be aware if price doesn't break this area, then it's going to go south, which it did, and did quite rapidly based on that. So that's the 15 minute. The break of structure that was appeared failed, so it wasn't a particularly great day yesterday. I took a trade around this area and it was long, and that stopped me out. So again, down to the 5 minute, we have a 5 minute break of structure by here. A trade could have been placed on the break of structure, placing find the long position. Going for that type of trade, that would have been 2.5 to 1. So a very low risk strategy. Sorry, high risk strategy, I would say. Low probability trade. You need more confirmation, I think, on the 1 hour to go bullish. So that was high risk. But yeah, I'm not seeing anything on the 15 minute at the moment. So we need to see 15 minute candle in this area. And on the 5 minute, I want to see a break of structure. So back over here, we want to see price coming up, form a new high, break this low by here, come up and retest, and go down. So we want to see a break and retest, I'd say, in this area on the 5 minute. So I want to see mark that in. Want to see a break and retest on the 5 minute. Okay, that's the review done for the morning, I'd say. I'll go ahead and tidy this up now and get my chart ready for today's price action. See what happens, see what comes of it, and we'll continue the review throughout the day. Okay, it's now 7:30 in the morning, New York time. For me, that's just gone midday. Price has definitely been in a rush to get to the lows on the hour. This is 30 minute at the moment, but you can see just by looking at it, it's not come up to these zones that are marked out here. Around, I'd say, let's have a look. Where are we? So around 10 o'clock last night, and that's New York time, we do have a small fractal here. This is a market maker buy model. So if I just put in the fractal in, man, I hate it when it does this. Okay, so green for the buy model. I'm going to start that again. Screwed that up. So we had the first side of the fractal. There is fair value at the top. So we have here, this is a swing high. We have swing low by here. There is fair value gap just by that, but also there's lots of downwards movement there, so it's an imbalance effectively, in that area. So if I was to put a rectangle in this area just by here, is sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. So price comes back up into that region, and from this high to this low it's about 60 or so percent retracement. So if I just put the fib on in this area, you can see how it's come back to that area. So that to me is a sign of bearishness. I didn't want to use that example there because I want to finish off what I'm seeing. Use this one down here. I can't get used to using the shortcuts down the bottom. Keep going over to the other side. So we have get this right. There we go. So that's red. We have the other side, and we have a break of structure. Done it again. So around this area, all the way over to this candle over here, there is the break of structure. I like for the candle to close below it to confirm it. So here it wasn't really confirmed until we got to this bit here. So there's the break of structure on the 15 minute. They could have done it on the 5 minute as well. We have a drop base drop just by here with a retest, I would say, in this area. But if we take a fib, I think it's just a habit going for that at the side. Can't stop it. You can see how price came back into that area. So we have here a retest. So this is distribution. We have done again. Keep doing it. We have a high test bar here. See how it doesn't quite hit it. So there is a supply zone there. Which one can I use? If I set it to, it'll disappear. Let's just put it on that 30 minute, 15 minute candle. So price doesn't quite reach here, but you can see here in this area we do have this candle, and price comes into it. So if I zoom in now on that area on the 5 minute, drop base, as we do have it, it's break and retest, and as soon as it hits it, it's just gone south. So if we set an entry, let's have a look, let's give it a go. This is a short position on the 62% retracement, and bring that to the high where the fair value is at the top. And we go all the way down we have 5 to 1. So there was an opportunity to get in there today. And I'm going to add that to playbook, I think. I don't know if that's an A setup or a B setup. I really don't know. Don't know at all. Okay, it's coming up to 11 o'clock, 10 to 11 New York time, and that's 4 o'clock in the afternoon in the UK. Whilst I've been waiting for price to hit a point, I've been testing. So the 15-minute, I wanted to see what the 8:30 candle looked like and the 9:30 candle. And interestingly enough, I'm getting a pin bar on both, and I've heard it a few times that after 10 o'clock, price will give you the direction it's heading in. So you need the 10 o'clock candle to draw as well, the 15-minute. And I've got pin bar, pin bar, pin bar, pin bar. 10 a.m. candle. So after 10:15, you kind of know the direction you're going in. Heading over to the 5-minute, we're just heading towards a 5-minute break structure. So if price closes below this, which looks like it's about to do, we're bearish. Well, we're bearish anyway on the high time frame. So this is a good place to get in, placing a stop above the top. Now back on the 15-minute, I took a sell here, placing my my stop above this area. Now if I zoom out and head to yesterday's trading as an example, notice the 8:30 candle is a pin bar, and I'd say the 9:30 candle is a little bit indecisive, but you can see clearly that above it, it's just failing to get higher. And as 10:30 comes along, you know the direction after it's drawn, and it's down. So in that area somewhere there will be a 5-minute break structure, and it's just about finding it and having the confidence to take that. Same again on the when was this? Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday. We have 8:30 candle is a high test. From the high to the low, we have a market maker buy model there, break structure on the 9:30 candle, retest on the 10 o'clock candle. That's a sell. Monday's trading was slightly different. So 8:30 candle didn't really give us anything. It was like an explosive move. 9:30, we have a pin bar, and we didn't really see an awful lot at 10 o'clock. What was it? Ten o'clock looks like a doji, which is depending on, I think, where it is bearishness. Price carried on climbing, but it broke structure. There'll be a 5-minute break structure here, and at 12:30 we have a retest of that area. So that comes into 62% retracement. If I place a fib in that area, 62% is just by that. Now I'm going to carry on backtesting this because this works even better for me because I don't have to do anything till 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I can just watch the market all day and set up drawings and stay out of the market until 10:15, until the market tells me what direction it's going. And if it's as simple as that, that makes trading so much easier for me. But anyway, back to today. I've placed a trade around this. We have supply come into the market here, so we had drop, base, drop. We've had a retest of this, and the price action around here, 9:30 candle, 10 o'clock candle, that's bearish, and I've taken the trade, so we'll see what happens. It's 6 o'clock in the UK in the evening now. It's just come up to 1 o'clock. The afternoon session's about to start. Price on the 15-minute has come back up to this, let's call it a supply zone by here. So if we see another high test pin bar and a break of structure here, we're definitely going down. So we'll just continue watching this for the time being. The other thing I want to bring into attention, because I'm going to back test this over the weekend, this area at the top where I've marked out as external range, there's something very specific about it, and I didn't twig until about 5 minutes ago, and I had a quick look backwards through areas that I have marked already, and this is the Asian range. So one of the big things in ICT's Michael's stuff, he talks about the Asian range and grading the play for the next day. It's going to be anywhere between 2 p.m. to 12 midnight. I'm just going to find the documentation on it again. Got it somewhere. It's the training model. Yeah, it's here. So the central bank dealers range starts at 2 p.m. and ends at 8. Asian sessions between 7 and 12, and the flout session is between 3 p.m. and 12 at night. So if we look at time, this instance of the breaking structure happened just after midnight, but this is all set up in the Asian session. We have a high, a low, a higher high. This marks out the market maker buy model, and this area that I've marked in blue is the zone which marks out the external range and the internal range. Once that is set and price goes below, now bear in mind on the high time frame we're declining, so we'd be seeking that anyway. We know that when we get to 8:30, we're waiting for the 10 o'clock to see what happens. And here's our range that's formed. So taking my fib, I can mark out where the internal range liquidity is just by there. Just as an example, if I find another one. So here's this would have been Wednesday the 18th. I haven't marked out the area yet, but 2 o'clock
starts here. And I'm just looking at it right this minute. So we have a high, a low, a higher high, and a break of structure. Comes back to that area, retests it, can't get above it. And then it goes down. Here's Tuesday. So look, that's midnight. 2 p.m.'s around this area. We have a high, a low, a higher high, break structure. And this area here is respected. External range here, internal range here. So price would have come down, where are we, 8 o'clock. This is the 10 o'clock candle. If I put a fib on that, let's have a look, see what happens. Where do we mark our X? From this high, let's just take it from this high all the way down to this low. Look at that. %60 retracement right in that area. Oh my God. I'm going to test this because my mind's a bit blown at the moment, but I need to record that so I can refer back to it. Okay, it's now 9 o'clock in the evening in the UK. It's 4 o'clock in New York time in the afternoon, so the market's pretty much finishing off now for the day. We're moving into the Asian range shortly. As you can see from the 15-minute, the Asian range overnight formed the external range that I'm seeing, and we had at 3 o'clock New York time strength come in, pushing the market down, big candles. So that was the first sign. So this area here on the 30-minute, we got a pin bar, bearish pin bar that formed out of supply on the 30-minute. It's not so evident on the 15-minute, but it's definitely there on the 30-minute. So that this whole area here around the external range became an area of supply, and you can see from these big candles here that we've got an imbalance of sellers, definitely. As we come into 8:30, we hit a bottom, and we had a pin bar, a bullish pin bar. So there was a drop base rally. It formed a break of structure just by here. Now I could have gone in on a long position by that. That would have been counter trending again. So I'm steering away from the counter trending, and I'm trying to get in on the high time frame bias. So the high time frame is everything's in decline at the moment. So we're seeking lower prices. Around about 9:30, we did hit this basing candle here, and there was lots of wicks in this area which formed pin bars, and there was an area where we could have got in. So from around about here to here would give us a 3-to-1 easily on a short position, getting out. And then as we hit this area of demand, and this is 12 o'clock going into the afternoon session, we have bullishness come back in until we hit the supply back at the top here, formed by this external range. You can see that we've got an evening star just by that, and we could have got back in on the retest. There's a break structure just by here. Lots of places we could have entered. On the 5 minute didn't really see a break structure until down at this level, so it's not a particularly great time, but because of the on the 30 minute the supply that came in based on that pin bar and that range, when price hit here, saw this could classify this as a pin bar. It's also an evening star. I entered the trade at the low here, and put in my stop just above. Now price has come down to here. That is that's 3.6 to 1. So I'm about to close that trade out and take profit. And that puts me up for the day. But I'm getting tired now. I need to wrap up. And that'll be it for today.